We're in the lowlands of New Jersey, Millville to be exact. The waterways leading to just a couple of miles from this racetrack. We call it New Jersey Motorsports Park, and we're glad you could be a part of it today. The second day of 3, the first day of racing for round number 6 of the 2020 MotoAmerica Championship season. You're seeing blue skies, a few puffy white clouds, and a lot of green grass. A lot of rain came through here the past few days, but today it's all about racing. Wind's blowing, track's dried out. Now it's time to get to it as the Stock 1000s hit the track for the first time in race trim today. Welcome everybody to the venue, NJMP. I'm Robbie Floyd. To my right in that booth up there in the upper left is our announced position. There is Roger Hayden, a 2-time winner here in the Honda Superbike class. I think you got like 5 or 6 podiums as well. There's only been one race that you didn't.
7 out of 8 podiums.
You didn't podium one time. What happened that time,
I'm not
bro?
sure. It was I crashed actually. Turn 8.
You'll never forget.
Yep.
Never live it down. You had that perfect podium streak going. Hi, everybody. Welcome to New Jersey. As we get ready for the Stock 1000s, is there one opportunity to race this weekend, and some of them we'll get to see in Stock 1000 as well as the Honda Superbike and the Superbike Cup. But these guys are getting ready to race on a track that is much drier today.
Yeah, a lot drier than it was yesterday with the streams running across. So it's going to be interesting to see with these guys not having a lot of practice. And some people have been here more than others. Corey Alexander's looking good this week. So we'll see who can run with him and Cam Peterson.
Well, it's nice inside our booth here, and it's a calm, 67, 68 degrees outside. That's where Jamie Howe can be found. Jamie, how's it looking outside? How's it feel?
It is absolutely beautiful out here. You couldn't ask for better conditions on race day. But for the Stock 1000 riders, you hear firing up behind me for their sighting lap. Let them go by real quick. So as they get underway, track temperature right now is at about 95 degrees. That's almost 20 degrees warmer than what it was when they were out this morning. So they have seen a wide variety of track conditions. Good news, though, they've got lots of good team members and lots of good information behind them. Should be able to figure out a nice tire combination and get to the lights.
I like seeing that. 95. What the highest we saw yesterday was 82, and I was thinking we'd have that this morning early, but that wasn't the case because overnight it was a little bit cooler than I thought.
No, the track looks like it's going to be perfect. So a lot of these guys that was having trouble making the softer option work, I think now with the temperatures being warmer, they're going to be able to run that soft tire.
I did go back to the pits in our little break here, and I was wondering, Jackson Blackman went to his crew, and he was trying to run a softer option, and it didn't work for him, but things keep warming up. It's going to play into the hands of some of these guys. It's their first race that we get to have. They are kind of setting the tone for the rest. I'm curious to see what they do. Do they go softer and see if it holds, or maybe they don't go for the little, more firmer category? Looking at the pole positions as we take a look at our starting grid, you talked about Corey Alexander being on top. He is our top qualifier. Look at that differential, though. 0.06 of a second. You can't tell that. That's blink of an eye stuff.
Oh, that's so close. It's just right there. And even Travis Wyman's only 0.7 back.
Yeah, so it's very close on those first few rows. And looking through the field, there's Steven Shakespeare on the inside of row number 4. And some of these guys have to get off the bike here in the Stock 1000s and get ready a little bit later, about a couple of hours after the Honda Superbike, where they'll go run back-to-back and run that Superbike Cup. So that's your starting grid as they get ready for the race here. What's your thought if you're Corey Alexander and Cam Peterson, with it being the first race of the weekend? It's not really the longest laps. We're only a minute and a half around here. Do you try and get out in front, or you just kind of pace yourself and then see how it plays out?
I think you try to check out and just, especially Corey, he needs to make up some points. He's a little bit behind, so he definitely needs a win and start chipping away and claw some of those points back. I think he's 13 back. So it's always easier if you can get away and then you don't have to race with anybody else. When you start racing with people, if you don't get a good start and somebody does get away, the group behind them starts racing, they can really slow each other up.
Looks like we're ready to go. This is scheduled to be a 15-lap race on the outside. Oh, good jump by Cam Peterson. Peterson just got the whole shot from the middle.
Yeah, he got a really good jump.
He gonna move a little wide. That's what I would do, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. And also, Michael Gilbert got a good start. Already moved up to 3rd.
And yeah, Gilbert got pipped just literally at the very end yesterday by Travis Wyman. Wyman drops back into 4th. So now you're looking at Cam Peterson, Corey Alexander, Michael Gilbert, Travis Wyman, 1, 2, 3, and that is Ashton Yates back there in fourth on the Honda, number 22. So look at that. The manufacturers represented, 3 different in the first 3. We've got 4 in the top 5.
You can already see Cam's already got his head down and trying to pull away.
He must have heard you talk about I would check out, right?
I know Corey's actually been working on trying to be a little bit faster the first couple laps.
And Gilbert is putting the pressure on him too. Gilbert's been fast here before, and I think he had to be disappointed starting on second. He's got something to prove. I think he's been faster than that 4th place start shows him. He's the second bike in that picture, number 55, Michael Gilbert. The man just in front of him, Corey Alexander. Just in front out of Austin, New York, Ride HVMC racing entry. This is the race for second place as it stands right now, the 23 of Alexander. Just ahead of Gilbert in the 55. And they separated a little bit over Travis Wyman and the BMW in fourth.
Yeah, Cam Peterson pulled a second on that first lap. So these guys don't want to let him get too far ahead.
Championship points in this class, 12-point differential. Cam Peterson, the points leader, 140 ahead of the 128 points of Corey Alexander. We're going to see Michael Gilbert move up into third if he can keep it on 2 wheels, because Alex Dumas, third in championship points, not with us after that fall at the Ridge. Now, even though it's 15 laps, some people may think, well, that's quite a few laps. It's over before you know it in a minute and a half second lap times, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely especially this track being so short, only being 15 laps it's not going to feel that long, and especially that's why I say you can't let Cam Peterson get too far away, because, you know, before you know it, the race will be halfway over.
Peterson this year started off with the second place, but that was behind a different rider. That was
Michael
P.J.
Gilbert
Jacobson.
actually went
Look
past
at that
Corey.
drive. Whoa.
Around the outside in 8. I don't know if he got up the inside of him going in.
I mean, that was a around the outside move. That was a power move when you can do that. That was the longer way around. And looking at this track, when you get into 7, 8, and 9, it's a continuous right-hand turn, but it's not a smooth turn. You have to make a few adjustments along the way. Looks like Corey wants to get by, coming down the front straightaway, trying to get a draft. Horsepower, Kawasaki versus Kawasaki. Let's take a look at the replay on the left. There's that inside move you're talking about.
Right in turn 7, and then, you know, that way Michael drifts up a little bit, and Corey tries to sneak back up the inside of him.
Corey drives to the inside, but then he's got to back off because he just don't want to, especially you don't want to push the envelope that early, and it would not only take you out, it would take Michael Gilbert out as well. Cam Peterson turning in some fast lap times, so 1:22.69 for that quick lap right now, and he's fastest in Sector 1 overall. When you look at the combined practice and qualifying, Corey Alexander had a 1:25 flat. We're seeing times already in the 1:22 range, Raj.
Yeah, and also this morning in the Superbike practice, Corey did a 22.6.
That's the same thing that Peterson's running right now out in front. I think he got caught off guard, you know.
And Cam's just going faster. He's got first 2 sectors are purple, so he's just stretching it out.
He didn't wait to go 22.6. He did it right off the bat. And you talk about that and you learn from that. There's certain guys like Tony Elias, you mentioned one of your former teammates, who was just quick from the get-go.
Josh Hayes was really good at it too, and he works with Cam Peterson, so Josh was so good at it, and it was one of the things I had to learn.
Back and forth between these two. Gilbert needed to get a good jump off the line, did, moved up into third, got by Travis Wyman. Wyman that last time around was about 4 seconds off of the pace of the leader. And you can see him sneaking in the picture, probably about 2.5 seconds behind Corey Alexander right now. Look at the differential. There's first, second, third, fourth coming in, fifth and Yates. Let's go down to Jamie with more on Corey Alexander.
I just checked with his team and asked if they were surprised about the pace right now, and they said, yeah, right now a little bit, but what they're hoping for is that it really comes to them as this tire goes off. That's what they were working on during the previous sessions, was really getting the longevity out of it and then having the speed at the end.
Thanks, Jamie. Roger, until you opened up a cold one, getting ready for our race here.
I'm kind of surprised too that just the pace of Corey so far early because in the Superbike practice this morning, we were so impressed because he was just running those laps one after another.
Starting to lose a little ground from Gilbert, isn't he? I mean, or Wyman's starting to pick up a little bit. And Corey having to deal with some injuries through this year, but when he's on, he's been really on, like Atlanta, like Pittsburgh for that fact. Even though he was injured, he still put the pressure on Cam Peterson. Almost took a victory home on a race that we didn't really expect it. Altus Motorsports been working, making that bike faster and faster. And you talk about Cam Peterson working with Josh Hayes.
And also now they get their couple issues. They had a couple races ago. They get that all sorted out. And he's talked about last race and even yesterday. Just now they can work on that chassis and just get him a lot more comfortable where he feels like he can push. And he's definitely working.
And some of those issues were brake issues early on in the season, and they figured out, they sorted that out. They had a couple here and there as well, but I think once you can go as fast as you want, but you still have to slow it down. And he could do it for like 3 laps. Well, these are 15-lap races. Well, they've got that figured out now. Now they can kind of work on making that bike faster. Michael Gilbert's been on the Kawasaki. He's used to that bike. He knows how to go fast, and we're finally seeing the Michael Gilbert I think that we expected this year, but we really, the last time we saw it was last year. He looks like his old self again.
Yeah, it's starting at the Ridge, getting in second place there, and you can see just even starting the whole weekend, he's been pretty fast and up to speed. So whatever he was struggling with early in the year, it looks like he has it sorted out.
And he had some issues yesterday. Well, he missed a qualifying, forgot to put a sticker on his tire, but you can see, and as the confidence grows, he's got to, just keep building on it and get ready for Birmingham. You don't have long to wait for the next round, do you?
And we always talk about momentum and confidence and how it rolls through every weekend. And he had that good race at the Ridge, carries that momentum here.
Cam Peterson only has one round this year where he has not finished on the podium. I see 0 points back at stop number 4 at Atlanta. Jamie, you got more on Cam?
Well, Cameron Peterson this morning was able to get some clean track, and they were able to really work on some gearing that they had been thinking about doing, but they had the time to do that this morning, and they were also on a little bit of a harder tire. So for the race, they've gone to an extra soft, and it seems to be working out for him as he was able to take that lead.
Thank you, Jamie. And Cam's just pulling away little by little by little. You don't even see anybody in the picture right now. And that somebody would be Michael Gilbert. He's no slouch. And the development of that bike and getting better, and as he prepares for that Honda Superbike race a little bit later on today as well, that's only going to help things. I mean, he's only going to get faster later.
He's just so consistent. His best lap's a 22.5. The last lap was a 23.0. So every lap within this race has been within a half second. And even now, I'd say he's probably kind of eased up just a little bit because he's got a 4-second lead.
Crazy thing is when Cam Peterson lines up for the Honda Superbike class later on today, he's going to be next to a couple of classmates in this class, including Travis Wyman. Travis Wyman is going to be to his right on the BMW. To his left is going to be Corey Alexander. Alexander out-qualified everybody else in the stock class, basically, as we go through the field. There's the Ashton Yates, the 22. Yates Racing entry on the Honda. The lone Honda we have in our field in the 1,000 stock class. Ashton Yates, son of AMA champion Aaron Yates, currently 7th in championship points behind Travis Wyman. Got about 20-some-odd points to make up on Wyman. Missing that last race of the Ridge really cost him there, but I get it. That was a long haul. Just behind him, Danilo Lewis, who was stoked to see him up there in the front, and you saw him take 11 points. That was good enough for a top 5 finish for the Brazilian back at the Ridge.
He was in that podium battle, Danilo Lewis. This is the first time we've actually, seen that was that race at the Ridge. He was right there on the, the guys there battling for the 3rd spot. And then you can see this weekend he's been pretty fast too.
ProComp's racing team, BMW out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Was right between the Olympics and the Paralympics 4 years ago in his home country. You ever been down to Brazil? It's beautiful. Unbelievable. Nice beaches. You ever been to Ipanema? Or
No, I haven't.
Copacabana? I mean, right there, it's like where two beaches, join at a point. It is some of the, there's a lot of sights, I'll tell you that. Just behind him should be Jeremy Cook on the 81 in 7th place. So as Cam Peterson comes around, he'll be taking a look at that pit board. Jamie, what did they put on there?
So it says +3, but as I'm watching the rest of the field come by, the gap right now is +6.06.
Why are they giving him false information?
Why would they do that, Roger?
Look at that. They're keeping it at least a full second underneath, Rod.
I guess just so they keep that buffer so he doesn't slow down too much and think he has too big of a lead, and just so he keeps pushing.
Their window's a full second. When you say, give or take, they're giving or taking 1 full second. I get it. But they split it in half a minute ago because he come across with a 6-second differential and he saw 3.
Now Corey, he's starting to catch up to Michael Gilbert now.
Maybe it's in his game plan.
That's kind of what he did at the Ridge.
Yeah,
Remember,
we're at halfway right now, right?
He fell back a little bit, and then at the end he put on a charge.
I think you could do that for second place. I don't know if you can do that for the win because I don't think that Cam's going to be off that much,
No, he's definitely. I mean, Cam is still going faster than them, but you can see he's closing up to Michael Gilbert.
Maybe it's just a damage control thing. I don't know. With it being a one-race weekend, too, if you feel like you had it in you, I mean, you just go – I want to try and say the right thing without being too descriptive. You want to go all out, right? I mean, it's a one race.
Definitely. He's trying his best, but just doesn't have the feeling right now with the bike that he had this morning in the practice.
Tires could be a factor as well. You would think that softer option would be the way to go. It's as warm as it's been all week for sure. If you were able to make it last earlier, if that's the case, then maybe for sure it should be now, I would think. He is on him. He's feeling it. I expect a pass here very soon out of Corey Alexander. He goes underneath, and it didn't take long. As soon as he caught up, he went by.
And that's what you do. Just sit there. As soon as he caught him, went right by him. That's a fast corner. That turn 4 is really fast.
That's one of the passing spots you expected to see here.
More in turn 5. The
left
corner after that, yeah.
We saw other racers making a lot of time in that 3, 4, 5 juncture compared to the rest of the field. Maybe Corey Alexander was watching some of those guys earlier and looking at some of their lines. Seeing the 2 different lines around that sweeping right-hand turn. Gilbert had to run a lot more speed, but it's going to be hard to do anything on that outside. There's that crew over there with that tent. They got some pretty active headwear over near the bridge. Brings you into the facility here. A good turnout. We're allowing fans, or I say we, but they, the state, the governor, the racetrack, everybody, is allowing fans. They're keeping their social distance, but they're getting to see a good one here today. Maybe not necessarily for the lead. You're seeing a good race for Corey Alexander and Michael Gilbert. The battle for third or second. Travis Wyman got dropped off of that third top 3 position. There's only 5 laps to go. A switchback here as they work their way back towards the front straightaway once again. A lot of high speed as they come down this front straightaway. Let's go back down to Jamie Moore on Michael Gilbert.
It's been a little bit of a turning point for that team. You guys talked about it, that we had expected to see them in the top 3 a lot more this season and earlier on, but really just at the Ridge a couple weeks ago when there was that series test day, they were able to really work on the bike and come in with a good base setup. They were able to figure some things out, and they haven't really had to touch it this weekend. So hopefully this is forward momentum that can keep carrying with them.
Thanks, Jamie. And you're seeing that battle between Joseph Giannotto in 7th now, getting by Jeremy Cook. Giannotto sponsored by Limitless Racing out of Hastings, Florida. Jeremy Cook on the 81 BMW out of Pasadena, Maryland. Jeremy Cook Racing. There's that battle again for second. So Corey Alexander got by, but he didn't drop Michael Gilbert. Gilbert's still hanging on.
No, especially in that third sector. Seems like Michael can close right up in that 7, 8, 9 area. And then once they come out of turn 10, it's almost like that section, Corey's a little bit better.
Lap after lap, though, look at this. We're still counting 6, 7, 8 seconds ahead as Cameron Peterson over that race for second. Safe to say that base setting's pretty good.
Yes, they definitely got things working, and he just gets, and he does the superbike races too.
Yeah.
So I think just all that track time really helps him out.
Yeah, you look at him in the superbike class. I mean, I wish he could have been in there for the super pole, but you look in the superbike, and he's constantly up there right around that 7th, 8th spot. If he can get 6th, that would be tremendous. That would be like a podium, for having a super stock in there against these guys.
This is the part of the track where Michael always catches up.
So let's watch 55 as he's the second bike in that picture.
Oh, now he tried to make up too much and made a mistake.
Yeah, went a little bit too hard.
In the 9. It's easy to do there because it's really tight corner, and it's hard sometimes to be patient, especially when you're behind somebody, not to rush it.
It's amazing how you can just see that little bit of difference and know that he's going to be off on his time. Look at him coming down that front straightaway. 3 laps to go for everyone, this 15-lap affair. Cam Peterson, Altus Motorsports. He's South African and running for that Oklahoma team. A new rider for that team as well. That was a new bike to him. It's not a new bike, though. It was ran last year, not to the success we've been seeing this year, though. Melissa Parrish, the wife of Josh Hayes, doing the wrenching on it.
Yeah, last year Miles Thornton was riding it, and it just seems like Cam's enjoyed it as soon as he got on it, and also he's got good people around him. That helps so much when you got good people surrounded, good mechanics, and just people in your ear that can really help you, and it's showing this year. We're getting to see all of Cam's talent.
We're seeing Danilo Lewis close in on Ashton Yates there. The 22 is going to get some pressure with about 2 1/4 laps to go. Danilo Lewis trying to get inside the top 5 once again. And Ashton's going to do his very best to hold him off, because if you weren't able to pull away, because he was up there at the front, now you're in, okay, just keep him back mode, right? He's not going to gain on the rider in front of him, in Travis Wyman. So you just got to keep that yellow bike behind you. I say that unless Wyman goes down. Don't want to jinx him. You don't believe in the announcer jinx, do you?
No.
Me either.
Danilo Lewis just has been, the last couple laps, just been a little faster than Ashton.
You see Ashton there on that left, just going a little bit wider, maybe not able to hold that tighter line. And Danilo's really closes up now, coming down the front straightaway. He's in that perfect spot right now where he might get a little bit of a draft. I don't know about a pass, but he can definitely close in.
I think Ashton got a better run out of 12.
Danilo's on that tail section. Look at that run, and again, that's not the new model Honda, but the only Honda we have in our field. 2 laps to go for these guys. This is the race for 5th place. Ashton Yates, the 22 out of Milledgeville, Georgia. Yates Racing Honda CBR 1000 RR. Doing good over Wheelie Hill. Different line there, coming into 5. We go back up front. Cam Peterson had an 8.5 second advantage, and he's worked his way into lap traffic.
Yeah, now he can just kind of be
careful.
Be careful. I mean, you still have to get by him. You can't wait too long, but he didn't have to force the issue too much, because, that's why you never slow down. You kind of get that gap that big, and so you can kind of control things.
Yeah. Shagenbake had to make sure and shake a little bit over there once he felt the presence of that Suzuki. White lap, we're on the last lap for Cam Peterson. Stock 1000 final 15-lap race. He is trying to go wire to wire. He started in second and initially got a great jump off the line and dictated the pace going into that first turn. Corey Alexander had to back off. Alexander held that spot for a few laps. Gilbert gets by him. Then Alexander retakes second position. Gilbert drops back to third, separates himself from Travis Wyman in 4th. Still have a battle going on for Danilo Lewis and Ashton Yates for 5th spot. But Cam Peters, I mean, right now it's a parade lap for him. I mean, he's still got an 8.5 second advantage. He looks over, sees absolutely no one.
It's the same thing he did at the Ridge. Got a good start, and never looks back, and he's just been so good at getting up to the race pace so early, and he breaks away from these guys. And he's consistent too. We've seen the first 5 or 6 laps were all within a half a second.
Yeah, and that's what you want, is that consistency, fast and consistent. I mean, that last time a 24.3, and he was working through lap traffic, and
he knows it now.
Yeah, that was basically the same time as Corey Alexander, who hadn't caught up to anybody. But yeah, this is, go ahead and start waving right about now. You can do it. Say hi to the fans. Get your autographs. He's going to be signing them after the race. Actually, he's got to get ready for the Honda Superbike. Look at him, pointed out, I am the champion here in New Jersey. No doubter for Cam Peterson today. Second place coming across the stripe officially now is Corey Alexander. He was able to dispel the threat of Michael Gilbert with the last lap and a half. Travis Wyman should be coming across in fourth shortly aboard the BMW, and does just that. What's that race to the end? It comes to the stripe. Wow. You're able to make one move, and I guess that one continuous move to his right was Ashton Yates, and he holds off to Nilo Lewis. That's 1,000th of a second. You can make one move, and I guess he never finished that move, Roger.
No, he just went to the inside and then blocked. And you see a lot of guys do that out of that last corner. And
he couldn't have went right and then back left again. But he continued on that right, and it was shutter down Charlie Brown. That's as close as you'll get. I mean, we measure to the thousandths of a second. And you know what? We say, everything I say is officially unofficial. They'll look back at that and look at the photo finish, because we've seen before, especially 1,000ths, where the timing and scoring isn't necessarily what the photo shows. So I promise you, Jason's down below us in timing and scoring, looking at that photo to the finish. It's a different world than, what, about 3 races ago when we were wondering, you know, would he be able to finish a race? Danilo, he doesn't know right now where he finished. We don't know officially. Good race till the end, though. That shows you never give up.
For him, he's had a couple good races now back to back, and it's always cool to see when somebody new toward the front.
A lot of fast Brazilians in motorsports. Typically, you see it in the 4-wheel variety. We see it in 2-wheel variety as well. Cam Peterson, South African, out in front the entire race. Look at that advantage, over 6 seconds of Corey Alexander. That's going to help him. The difference between first and second in points is 25 to 20, so he's going to gain 5 more points. Now put him 17 points ahead in the championship. Gibby in third after being in second for a fair amount of this race. But yeah, Corey looked like he was pacing himself. I just don't think he quite had the race pace of Cam Peterson, and he was managing that race, and I think it almost has to feel like a win for him finishing second.
I don't know. I think he's going to be disappointed with that, just because he was so fast this morning. And he knows he needs to win and beat Cam. So yeah, second place is good, but I think he expected to battle Cam for the win.
I think once he saw Cam go out, I don't know that he felt like he could do that. I'd be curious. We'll talk to him. Unfortunately for them, that's it for them. They only have one shot in the Stock 1000 this weekend. We have 4 races tomorrow. There's your championship points picture. Gilbert does move into third as well. Travis Wyman getting by Alex Dumas. Hope to see Dumas back. Maybe we'll see him next week in Birmingham, because he can still move back into third. Look, here's only 5 points separating Gilbert and Dumas, but it's still Cam Peterson up at the top. Stefano Mesa, looking forward to seeing him back in Birmingham as well. Barber Motorsports Park. If you hadn't got your tickets, do so now. It's a great place to watch a race. Another guy we'll be looking at Birmingham, but he'll be in the Honda Superbike, will be the #1 rider for the past 2 years in the Stock 1000, Andrew Lee. Foreshadowing. Take a look at the race. Did you see how good of a launch he got? That was a great start by Cam.
Yeah, great start, and put his head down right away. And, you know, that was the last time those guys seen Cam Peterson.
Gilbert wanted to get by earlier. He said, if I'm going to catch up to Cam Peterson, I need to make my move now. Once he moved into second, he did good, and he separated himself, but it didn't last.
Yeah, he separated from Corey, and then Corey reeled him back in and made a great pass right here going into turn 4, and kind of stretched out to a 3-second gap.
Diving into 4 and didn't even have to worry about 5, and takes that inside line, guarded it a little bit. And battled for a few laps, but held on for a second, pulled it away. Out in front is the 45, Haggerty Altus Motorsports. All of his sponsors doing them well this week. Cam Peterson, your winner here in New Jersey. One race in the books. We still have 4 more today. Next up will be the Super Sport race kicking off near the top of the hour at 2:10 will be race time. We'll be picking it up live on MAV TV and Eurosport. Let's sit it down to Jamie, who's with Cam Peterson. That was an old Milwaukee race, Jamie. It just doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't. It was win number 4 in a row, 5th on the season for Cameron Peterson. That celebration, though, as soon as you crossed the checkered flag, what made this race more special?
You know, Corey's been rolling this weekend. This is his home track, so there was a little bit more pressure on me this weekend. You know, I felt like I had to ride out of my socks a little bit more this weekend to get this. So, yeah, this one meant a lot to me, you know, being able to take, I think it's my 4th win in a row now, 5th of the season. So, yeah, we're kind of getting the ball rolling, and it's fun, you know. Weekends like this, it's fun. So I'm just going to look forward to next weekend at Barber. That's my favorite track of the season. So hopefully we can keep it going there with a double header.
I think that ball's doing more than rolling. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know I mentioned that Corey Alexander from Austin, New York, but it really hit home when he said it again. You know, this is his home track. You know, Corey really wanted to win here in front of his friends and family. Let's sit it down to Jamie, who's with Corey Alexander.
And for Corey Alexander, it's also his first pole of the season, but 6th consecutive podium finish now for you. How hard did you have to work to stay out there?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't the race I expected for us. I honestly thought we would have had the pace to go with Cam, but he's just riding really well, and we struggled with some issues with the bike setup. But it is what it is. I'm happy to be up here again in 2nd. I wish it was 1st. But otherwise, just have to give back big hats off to my guys. We're at HMC. We got a lot of Hudson Valley motorcycle fans out here this weekend. It's our home race, so it's cool to see everybody out here and appreciate it. Special shout out to Wandering Dave's Cafe for sponsoring us this weekend, and thanks to everyone for coming out.
I love having all the fans in the background here yelling. Nice job.
Is he sponsored by a restaurant and he didn't bring us anything, Roger? What is up with that? I don't like hearing that. Wandering Dave's Cafe, and let's send it down to Jamie, who's with Michael Gilbert. I thought he had a chance a second. He just couldn't quite pull the trigger.
It is his 3rd podium finish of 2020, 2nd consecutive one. Michael, your team said it was a little bit of a turning point for you at the last rounds. How did that momentum continue today?
Definitely. We just came in from the ridge with a little momentum, as you say, and just tried to carry it in. I got a good start where I wanted to be, and I got by Corey, and I felt like, you know, I could kind of stay even with Cam there for a little bit, and then we just struggled with some tire issue there later in the race, and Corey got by. But hats off to these guys. Cam is riding phenomenal right now, as is Corey, and we'll keep this momentum going and go into Barber and do it again.
Only a few days off. Nice
That's right.
job.
Thank you.
So evidently we're going to get to take a look back at the photo finish. I talked about that, Danilo Lewis. Let's look at it here. This is, whoa, what do you think?
I have to do it slower.
You guys we need super slow-mo. What do you think out of there? When we had Danilo
Hang on,
Lewis.
look.
I think the yellow bike's Lewis. It's saying the red bike's faster.
I don't know.
Well, that's why
It can't get any closer
That's
than
why
that.
we're not officials. But again, when it comes to 1,000th of a second, they're going to have to determine that one. There's the finish line, the objects to get there first, and Cam Peterson did just that. We've got a lot more racing still ahead at MotoAmerica Live Plus.